We're here at Kokomo Municipal Stadium with head baseball coach Colin Connor, catching up with the Cougs on the first episode of the Coach's Corner. Coach, just opened River State's conference play last weekend, a 2-1 weekend at Kentucky Christian. Kind of talk about your team's performance and where the team's at.
Yeah, so obviously leading up to this weekend, we've been pretty challenged, in terms of what our schedule looked like. And not that this weekend wasn't another challenge, but what we had was the opportunity to kind of get back on the horse, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Yeah.
To start out with a conference series win is huge for us, and I think a big focus that we're going to have kind of as a team this year is to win every series. It's do everything you can to win 2 out of 3. If we can do that, we're going to give ourselves the best chance.
Yeah, be in a great spot.
Yeah, for sure. And I think obviously to get a taste of conference play after once again getting battle tested was good. To take it instead of trying to figure out how to get through 32 or 36 innings, we had a chance to get through 25 innings. So I thought game 1 was good. I thought game 2 we let our foot off the gas a little bit, and then I thought we did a good job of bouncing back in game 3.
Yeah, it's been a wonky schedule so far. We touched on it before we went live here. Not a single weekend has gone as according to plan, or at least the initial plan. This weekend is no different. Supposed to be in Owensboro, Kentucky, battling the Bearcats of Brescia, but instead we'll be meeting them not quite halfway, but at Oakland City University for a Friday-Sunday series. Touch on that and how your team's been good at adapting to all the changes.
So something that we talked about with them kind of to start the year is like no circumstance has to be perfect.
Right.
And unfortunately in this game it just doesn't work like that. Whether it's weather or the umpires or travel or whatever, we have to find a way to be able to compete kind of no matter what.
Right.
So I think the big thing is just getting guys to understand, control what we can, and we'll play anybody anywhere, and we have to have that mentality. And I think the other part of it too is just you learn about adaptability. We've talked a lot about our guys about adjust on the fly, be able to adapt. Don't give yourself any reason to not have success.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if we get to play every week, that's good enough for us.
That's fair. We'll touch on this team's depth. I think that's really been a strength to this point in the year. Plenty of players, pretty much every healthy player has contributed in some way or another. And offensively, guys are getting at bats that aren't used to getting at bats, and they're contributing in a big way. Talk about how that's led the team to success early on.
Yeah, so I think before you even get into the depth, you just talk about like the roster kind of as a whole. So to lose, BD for a little bit, and to lose Rod for a little bit, and to lose Nino for a little bit, there's opportunities for guys to step up. And I think the cool thing about that is you have this holistic idea that like guys are playing for each other, but also that opportunities are kind of spread out.
Right.
So to get guys in there has been good. Just because we're getting guys in there doesn't mean we're not trying to win.
Yeah.
And I think just to get guys those opportunities and those reps, it's cool to see guys get excited for each other. And I think it helps too with just that idea of like playing for each other, because when you have a together team, it makes it even easier to have a chance to win. So it's been cool to see guys kind of step up and step in, and it's been a challenge for sure, but it's nothing that we're not up for.
For sure. After having been able to travel myself with you guys down to Hattiesburg, Mississippi for a big-time 4-game set against number 11 William Carey and number 12 Missouri Baptist, quite a few things stood out to me. One thing in general was, yes, we may not be where we want to be win-loss-wise in the win-loss column, but man, this team has made great strides so far this year. There's a never-quit attitude in this program. The culture's really in a great spot, and I don't think has ever been better. In the dugout, one thing that stands out to me is how these guys continue to pick each other up. Guy comes out of the game from a rough effort on the mound, or he comes out of the game after 6 strong innings. These guys are picking each other up, and there's just a want to and a willingness to compete for each other that really stands out to me so far this year, Coach.
I agree, man. And I think everybody wants it to happen really fast, right? Like the turnaround and what you see in college athletics is like you can do it pretty fast, but I think something that we're really focused on is the longevity of kind of what we're trying to build. We had a chance to get our high school class done by Halloween, which was a big deal.
Right.
And then just to be able to have the opportunity every day to like really coach these guys. We tell them a lot. It's amazing the amount of things we do get to teach them. But I think the benefit of that is we're getting our reps and we're instilling what we want it to be like on a daily basis, so that way it's in a place where it recycles itself, not that it has to kind of reset itself.
Yeah.
You know, so I think there's a lot to be excited about. Obviously, you want to win. That's why we do it.
Yeah.
You know, that's why you put all this time and effort in, and we're not asking for anyone to celebrate losing at all.
Right.
You know, but if we can maintain what we're doing and where we're going, we really are building something special and something that we're excited to kind of put out there.
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind that this baseball program is headed in the right direction. As we touched on earlier in the show, baseball will be on the road this weekend, or at least away from home, battling the Brescia Bearcats at Oakland City University, just north of Evansville in Oakland City, Indiana. That'll be a doubleheader Friday at noon and a single game Sunday at 2 p.m. Make sure to tune into that. IUK Baseball on Instagram and Twitter. IUKCougars.com. Stay tuned for updates. But most importantly, we'd love to see you out here at Kokomo Municipal Stadium for any of our home series. Tickets are cheap to get in, and we're home for our first series March 13th and 14th. So a little over a week away, we get to host the Red Storm of Rio Grande and kick things off River State's conference play-wise here at our beautiful home stadium in downtown Kokomo. Thanks for tuning in this week, guys. We'll see you next week.